Welcome to the program. I'm Rob Cope-Williams, sitting in for Mike Yardley, who's not available today, otherwise he'd be sitting here. Let me introduce you to the panel. Felicity Price, New Zealand's answer to Bryce Courtney. You've got a new book?
Yes, very subtly, I'll hold it up.
Now that's a sequel?
This is a sequel to A Sandwich Short of a Picnic. It's called Head Over Heels, and it says Penny Rushmore is back in this stiletto-sharp sequel, so there you are.
Well, anyone who's read the Sandwich Short of a Picnic will be looking for that. Ali Jones, who disappeared, what are you up to?
I'm pole dancing now. No, I'm not. No, I am.
That's on the record now.
No. I have gone back to public relations, which my colleague here, I know Felicity from that industry as well. Thoroughly enjoying that and slowly building that up again, which is great, and doing a bit of freelance writing.
Good on you. Alan Slade, one of our leading restaurateurs and owner of the Octagon. How's it going there?
We've just come into the end of the tourist season, so it's been very busy and quite delightful. It's delightful to be busy, Rob.
How do you get so many artists to turn up and do their number?
It's the building, you know, the acoustics there are remarkable. So the David Heathcotes and people want to actually come and play there. At the moment, for example, Malcolm McNeil's performing there. They like hearing themselves in that place. So it's a great advantage. The building's the trick.
Well, it's lovely to have an asset like that in Christchurch. Speaking of which, tourism. We've just had the Ellerslie Flower Show, which probably should have been called the Hagley Flower Show, but anyway. Should we be looking at more events and attracting more events? Motor racing is no longer going to be done in Hamilton, for example, by the sound of it. Should we be going for things like that?
Well, I think, and to some extent we already are. There is a very good motor racing event in January with classic cars. I think there's things that we've already got we should push rather than trying to bring the big events down here. I think the council has done really, really well with bringing Ellerslie down here, and I'm sure it will be called the Hagley Flower Show eventually. But you know, at what it was a huge cost, and so we can't keep stumping up that sort of money for events all the time. I mean, there's the Buskers Festival, there's the Arts Festival, which has been revived. There are quite a lot of things here already that do bring in the numbers, and I think actually they're doing really, really well.
Ali?
I wonder whether we need to focus more on local tourism, actually. I think about, your Hanma breaks and Akaroa breaks and things like that for the people who live here already. I agree with Felicity. I think we have some fantastic festivals already, and I think we have to continue growing those and improving those. I also think we need to improve our standard of hospitality across the board, and I think that will help too. There are some excellent places in town, accommodation, restaurants and so on. But I do find that overall the standard has slipped, I think, and I think general politeness, awareness of the customer and so on just isn't there as much as it used to, and I think that would make a big difference too.
Alan, this is right in your field, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest a little bit. I think that the events do a good job, but they've got to be careful on how they're organised and how they include the local businesses. To have, for example, a festival that arrives in our city square next to businesses that promote tourism and promote and look after visitors every day, say the Heritage or the Millennium. They work all year, they promote all year, and then we have a festival in the square where they set up another venue, another license is issued, and they actually have reduced business for that period. So these festivals, I think, should really go into the local business community and help create sustainable business. We, for example, do entertainment every night, and we have to take a back step. We have a reduced sales when there are the other competitive events.
Like the Jazz Festival, for example.
Like the Jazz Festival, the Buskers Festival cost us a fortune. It's one of the ones where we have a very bad week. Because it's not, it's competition. They should really have the courage, or they should be disciplined into looking at the people who are promoting all year round and seeing how they can be involved in some way before building new tents and new recreations in competition for 1 week. And also competition with things that aren't commercially viable. They're all making losses, I understand, after getting community grants. Because we've actually got to survive day to day with viable products. So it's a balancing act, and I think they could be much more cleverly done.
Felicity, whose job is it to actually, in your view, to coordinate and promote? I mean, things like the Jazz Festival, it just slips through and very little publicity.
Oh, I think it gets quite a bit of publicity. I mean, well,
Gets a few
presumably
banners.
you're old people like me, old fogies like me, and read the press. I mean, if you get the press, they have a huge program in it. They have ads in it. You can't miss it, and they have radio advertising. I presume they have CTV advertising as well. And perhaps you'd have to work on that one. But I think the arts festival, the jazz festival, I think they do really, really well, and the council has taken on a lot of responsibility for that, and there's arguments for and against that sort of thing. But I think when you look at the huge wider brief that the councils all over New Zealand have these days, I think it's a really good thing that they foster and encourage the Buskers Festival, the Arts Festival, the Jazz Festival. And okay, apart from the Buskers, there are things that other towns also do, but I think we do them quite well, and they certainly bring people in from the rest of the country.
Ali, do you think it's wise for the council to do that rather than put the money into swimming pools?
Don't
I just
ask me
mentioned the
that.
war, didn't I?
Do not ask me that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to answer that because I think you're being mischievous, Rob. But I just want to talk about something that Alan raised, and that is that the Buskers hits you guys quite hard, obviously, and it's like the worst week that you had. Why can't you, with all due respect, take advantage of the numbers in town and turn that round in some way to actually be positive? Where does the responsibility...
Oh, you can do if you work with the organisers. That's what I was actually saying. They should actually find a way to work with the local people who will be affected.
So you can't be proactive yourselves?
You can be. We have on one occasion been very proactive and almost demanding to be included, but it never helps to demand to be included, because you get included in a way that can almost be negative. I think that with some clever... for example, if I was doing the Buskers Festival and couldn't do it in Amberley, I would do it to South Brighton. There's an area that needs vitality, that needs rejuvenation. Why stage it in the centre of the city that's already active and already got a lot?
Because it's access to walking people, but anyway, that would be it. And it's an easier target. Speaking of targets, we'll be back targeting more subjects straight after the break.